broadcast, and we are live on air. Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Producer's Life in Uganda. I am Elizabeth Ingero, and I will be here with you talking about the mindset, the power of the mindset, with an inspirational woman who I have known for many, many years, and that will be Mrs. Susan S. Oyemade. So I'd like you to go online and put that name into Google, and you will see the wonderful things that she has achieved in her life. As you know, this is A Producer's Life in Uganda's YouTube page. So please subscribe, like, and share the stream if you have a community tab. Just a reminder that Let's Cook Episode 1 is available on the Record TV Uganda Facebook page. And if you look at any other videos on the Producer's Life in Uganda's page, you'll be able to get that link to watch the episode. So I'll just wait for a few people to come in. We've got, and when you come into the room, if you could just let us know which country you are watching from. And so therefore I can give you a shout out just before we really dig into this topic, because this is a topic that really can change your life. By understanding the mindset, by understanding the power of the mindset and your mind, then you are able to achieve so many things in life that otherwise you wouldn't have achieved if you were not aware. So do give us, write a message there just to say which country you are listening in from, and I will be able to give you a shout out. So a reminder again, episode 1 of the cooking reality show, Let's Cook, which is a show that I've created, is available on Facebook, on the Record TV Uganda Facebook page. So hopefully you'll be able to go there and watch it before episode 2, which will be coming this Saturday at 7 p.m. Ugandan time and 12 p.m. on Sunday. So Saturday, 7 p.m. Ugandan time. In the UK, that's 5 p.m. So you need to just work out what time it will be in your country. Then you can go onto the Facebook page and watch it live and enjoy the lives and the stories of ordinary Ugandans with ambition, passion for cooking, but they also share their life stories to help us grow in our personal development by watching them. So enjoy watching Let's Cook, and don't forget to leave a message on the Facebook page. So we have 2 people in the room. If you could just let me know where exactly you are calling in from or you're watching from, then that will help us kick off the show. And I'll be getting our special guest today to come in a little while. But before we do that, we'll just say hello to everyone as they come in. Hope you've all had a good day as well. Hope you've all had a productive day. Let me know how your day has been. And don't forget to share this chat and share this stream so that other people can join in and come and listen and be inspired. Be inspired by life. Be inspired by knowledge. Be inspired by experience as well. So we'll be going into lots of different things. But specifically, we will be talking about the mind, the power of the mind, understanding the power of the mind. So we're going to delve into that in a few moments' time. So let's get this out there. For those of you listening, give you a moment to come in, to go to the share button and to share this with as many people as you can. Let's get the word out there so that people can come and enjoy this live stream and listen and be encouraged by what we are talking about. So it's just 1 minute past 8 now, and the notification went out to say we were starting at 8. So we'll give people a moment just to find themselves, get back into their central relaxing place after the dinner, after putting the kids to bed. My kids are in bed. So if you've got to put the kids to bed, do that. To settle in after a hard day's work. And hopefully you're doing the type of job that you love and you enjoy, that makes you happy. So even though you're working hard and experiencing the sort of the benefits of enjoying what you're doing, you are enjoying it, which is the main thing. So let's get this out there. I'm going to WhatsApp right now, and I'm going to share this screen. Share the screen so that we can all enjoy and listen in. And again, let me know where exactly you are calling in from so that we can give you a shout out and see which different countries are going to benefit from this interesting discussion and this topic that we have today, which is understanding the power of the mind with Mrs. Susan Oyemade. So let's have a look and see. Let's have a look and see what we have here today, and we will be able to carry on with the discussion. It's good that you can actually come in and out. Stay with me, make it count, stay for at least 15 minutes when you come into the live stream. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that other people can know that it was an interesting topic and an interesting time that we had in here. And don't forget to share the live stream as well. So we will be kicking off in about 2 minutes time. You'll be able to hear Mrs. Susan Oyemade, and she'll be able to share her life experiences talking about the topic, understanding the power of the mind. And you'll be able to gain from that wealth of knowledge. And this is a woman, an inspirational woman, who not only is a fellow of the Society of Teachers in Business and Education, but is an educator of life. You know, not just an educator when you think of an educator in terms of a trainer or anything like that, but an educator that looks at life as a lifelong learning process. You know, there's a lot that we can learn from life. There's a lot that we can learn from each other. And I think while we can, it's good to share these stories and to share these topics so that this will always be there for the generations to benefit from. So let me come back. I'm trying to multitask and looking at lots of different things at the same time. But don't forget, if you're coming into the live stream, to let us know where exactly you are coming in from. And so we have 2 more minutes until we get our special guest in here. You'll be able to hear her wonderful voice. You'll be able to hear her story, her life experience, her view on the topic, understanding the power of the mind. And that's something that hopefully will be able to benefit you as an individual, because we can always learn from each other, even in situations where, you know, most people would think they are a negative situation. There is a way that we can turn it around and see it in the light of how can this help me grow? How can this influence me in such a way that I can become a better person? So we shall be exploring some of those things and looking into this topic in more detail. But what we'll also do first is find out about the life of this inspirational woman and delve a little bit, just a little bit, because I'm sure we'll have her on again, but just a little bit into her background and how she has ended up where she is in life today. Because we're all on a journey, we're all at different stages in our life, but the ultimately we will, where we stop or where we encounter people, that's where we are at that point in time, and we can share what we've experienced up until that point in time. So that's what we're doing here today with Mrs. Susan Oyemade, and we're going to be enriched. We're going to be able to draw in and suck in all the information and knowledge that we can for this short period of time, very short period of time. We'll be here running for about an hour. And And yes, and we'll be able to see what exactly that we can take forward in our own lives to be able to move forward in productivity, to move forward in joy, peace, and happiness, to be able to appreciate work-life balance, and also the realities of life. Because sometimes we see people that are successful and that have, what people would say have made it, but we don't really take the time to understand where it is that they have been to get to where they are right now. So taking that time to reflect, ask those questions of somebody who's been through it, and who can give you the reality of life, to say, this is exactly what it is. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's story is unique, but we can all learn and appreciate, from our stories, from each other. We can all learn and appreciate that. So I think it's time to welcome our guest so that we can enjoy this conversation. Don't forget, I can see 3 viewers in here. Please comment on where you are in the chat. Let us know where you are, and feel free to ask Mrs. Susan Oyemade questions about the topic, or even in general, just about herself, or any knowledge or information that you'd like to get from herself. Because, as you can see in the description, she's a fellow of the Society of Teachers in Business Education. She's an educator, a secretarial administrator, entrepreneur, nutrition and weight management consultant, and plus, 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 many more. I don't think we can fit all her achievements into a description box. If only that was the case. But I think, yes, each person really has, can describe themselves in a short sentence or in a paragraph. But the reality of life is we all have a wealth of experience that we can tap into and that other people can tap into. So I think it's time to tap into Mrs. Susan Oyemade's wealth of experience. Hello, Mrs. Susan Oyemade. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening to you, Elizabeth, and good evening to all the people all over the world who are joining in to listen to what we have to share today.
So tell us, where are you speaking from? Where are you calling us from?
I'm speaking from Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, so Lagos, Nigeria. I think we have a few people that come to this stream from Nigeria, so that's good to be able to show them that they have a fellow Nigerian here to inspire us and to encourage us. So just before we start, I'd like to just introduce Mrs. Susan Oyemade, who's a wonderful, inspirational woman, but she's also my biological auntie, which I'm very proud of. Uh, when I was a teenager, I lost my mother when I was very young, and I went to live with Mrs. Oyemade and her family, and grew up with them for a few years there in Nigeria. So I've got that wealth of experience of being able to live in an African country as a child, and also to be able to live in that household, being surrounded by love and encouragement and certain principles and values. So there is a connection there that we have, and that's why I felt it was important to be able to get this story out there, get this wealth of experience out there. So let me start really by asking you. I know we're going to be talking about understanding the mindset, but just to give people an idea of who you are and what it is that you do, um, what would you say you do currently? What would you say your role is, your main role is?
What I do currently is to help people to understand they have a wonderful power within them, a power that it cannot be described ordinarily, a power that is unlimited, and people are not aware of it, and people are not using it, and people are struggling day in, day out to make two ends meet, but they're finding it very difficult. And what the Almighty Father had put at our disposal is there for us to have a beautiful life, a simple life, to have heaven on earth. But people don't really know about this. And some people just have that mindset that nothing can change their mind from what they believe, what they've been believing for so many years, and which has not been helping them. They're still holding on to it. And quickly, I like to refer to the quotation from Einstein. We say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And expecting different results, sorry. So when you spend your life struggling and you are operating on the same beliefs, on the same, knowledge that probably you've had for so many years, and you are suffering and you are having problems, and you still holding on to it, and you blaming your challenges on probably God or on other people. So I feel so sad about this. And this is why I had to go into this really beautiful subject, which is the knowledge about our mind, about who we are, and why are we struggling when we have everything at our disposal. So what I do now is to help people to understand the power within, that the power they're looking for is not outside there, it's within them. Because there are two worlds, the inner world and the outer world. That 99.9% of our life we live in that outer world. And this is why we face the challenges we have today. So my passion now is understanding the power of your mind.
That sounds very, very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. So I guess really my first question to you then is, why is it that you think that you as an individual have reached that place of awareness to want to explore this topic? What is it in your childhood or in your background that you think has brought you to where you are right now? Because I'm not too convinced that everybody would sort of have that understanding. So where does that come from in you?
First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty Father for knowing Him at an early age, because that has really helped me so much. As a child, I realized that I have the power of dreams. Whenever I dream and I wake up and I remember that dream, it's always coming true. I was actually nicknamed Joseph the Dreamer when I was young. And it was so powerful in me that if I dream about you and I tell you and you do something against that dream, you will come back and regret. So it became so much in me that people started making jest or probably running away from me that she has come. We don't want her to dream about us. Sorry. So little by little, I was afraid and I was losing that ability, which I did not realize that is a great gift, from God. But later on in life, it came back because I moved away from those people who were making jest of me. And then it came back again. Even when I got married and I was in England, the ability came back, to dream. I know things beforehand, that even things will be shown to me, like I have premonition. I have the feelings when people come in to know whether they are nice people or they are people of bad energy. So I started to look into my life that, look, I need to go deeper than this. There must be something more to this. And that's when I started moving towards spirituality. Religion is one thing, spirituality is another. Because sometimes religion will cover your face that you will not be able to know the power that you have as an individual, and you put your hope on the pastors or the pope or whatever. So from there, I started moving to reading a lot of spiritual books. I don't like reading ordinary book. And with that, I started also having quiet moment. I like quietness. I like stillness. And from that quietness and stillness, I had a lot of inspiration. Things that I will say and it will come true. Things that I will see and I say, this is coming to reality. And I started to pay attention again deeply and deeply to myself. And also, I would like to thank my mother. She's gone now, but I will always remember her. She brought me off to have certain beliefs that are helping me today. My mother told me right from when I could understand, right from wrong, that I should never say anything negative. I should never think anything negative. Whatever I say must be positive. And she used to tell me about a town where they have a priest, and there's a certain period in Ile-Ife when the priest will come out in the morning and will be praying and will be saying positive things to the country, to the town, and the town will be flourishing. So right from my young age, I learned not to say anything negative or or thinking in a negative way. So even if somebody says something negative, so immediately I change it to positive thing. I said, that's not for me. The negative may be for you, but not for me. So from there, I now realize that, look, where are these things coming from? And I know that, is the power that God has given to us for us to be on this path and be able to have whatever we want to have wonderful life. And every day we read our Lord's Prayer. I don't know whether we have many of the Christians listening. We read our Lord's prayers every day that the kingdom, may the kingdom of God come, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that kingdom is supposed to be on earth. And what is the kingdom of God? Beauty, happiness, peace, joy, abundance, isn't it? So we pray for it every day, but we are not seeking it, and it's within us, it's within us. So, and again, some people think that, I'm working for paradise. Paradise begins from us. If you don't have paradise on earth, how will you know how to live, in paradise, wherever you think it is again? So I now work hard to help a lot of people to believe that the power they have within is unlimited, and that is of the mind.
So, I mean, you are very fortunate to be able to have a mother that was able to encourage you with those positive mindsets from a very early age.
Yeah.
And that influence, and clearly you remember it right now, that has influenced your life. So what would you say then to people who have had the opposite experience? So from a young age, they've been fed negativity, they've been told they're nothing, they've been abused, they've been given little worth and self confidence. How would you sort of be able to help a person like that
I
to be
would
able to come out of that mindset?
Okay, I would like to tell them that they should smile because they can change, they can rewrite that program. Because every one of us on earth, we are not actually using the program we come to this world with from God. We are running the program we acquired from when we were even in the stomach of our parents. Because things and everything in life is energy, is vibration. When a woman is pregnant and she's going through hard times, she's going through difficulty, she's not happy, maybe she's fighting with her spouse, it's recording on that baby inside. And we don't know all this. And also, when that child is born, and between age 0 to 7, that child is recording. Everything is being recorded. The subconscious mind is recording every action, whatever is seeing, whatever is watching. And this is why I tell people who are pregnant, please don't watch violent videos. Don't watch violent, TV, programs. Don't listen to bad news because your child is being recorded, in the program, which, it will be bringing. So make sure you are happy. Make sure all the things you are focusing on will be positive so that that child can record all those things because they are playing, that's the program we're all playing. And after the age of, even when they go to school, they now have programs from their teachers, they have programs from their schoolmates, they have programs from the society, they have program from their group. They are all recording all those things. And that's the one that form the beliefs of, of people that they do not know, because they act in the same way. But you can see that probably they don't even realize that they are not playing their own program. Then they go to secondary school, then the university, then the society. All the things we are seeing in the society, the bad thing we are seeing in the society, the subconscious mind is recording it. So we are not playing that program. The software that we come to this world with, which is peace, which is love, which is, joy, which is harmony, which is togetherness, but we come to this world now to learn that, we have to be in competition. So if Lizzie buys a Jeep of 10 million, I must buy that of 20 million. So instead of being in cooperation, we are in competition, because that's the program we've really downloaded. But like I've said, we have to be happy because we can change it. And this is why I now went further to do what we call Psych-K, Facilitators program. And Psych-K is helping you to rewrite the software of your life, and can be changed, and you can change the program that you have at the moment. So whatever they have called you, you are not that.
Mm-hmm.
You are wonderful, you are more than that. And this is why now I teach people how to rewrite, that software, so that their life can change. So we can change our life. We don't have to be what, people say we are. We don't have to listen to discouragement from people, because that's the way they see life. That's the way they are perceiving life. You are different from that person. The way you see your own life, what you believe is what, creates your destiny. I think probably also I would like to quote Mahatma Gandhi, which is philosophy of success. It's that keep your beliefs positive, because your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words become your actions, and your actions become your habits, and your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. So you can see we can change our destiny by changing our beliefs and changing our what? Our thoughts. There's so many things people told me when I was young, and if I'm running those beliefs today, I wouldn't be where I am, because they are not reality of what life is all about. So we can rewrite it, and this is why I'm very happy that I've come across what we call Psych-K, and with that, we are able now to reprogram, to rewrite, to put a new software into that program, and things will turn out the way we want it. And also, we need to watch our words. We say what we don't want all the time. People say what they don't want. And they have to remember that we are what we call conscious mind, which is a very great instrument for us. And then we have subconscious mind. Your conscious mind, I can describe it as the gardener. But your subconscious mind is the garden. So whatever the gardener plants, what happens? It grows. So if you plant good crop, you have good crop. If you plant, bad crop, what happens? You have bad crop. So what will you do with your conscious mind? That is the gardener, is to make sure you are planting positive things. We live only we only live 5% of our life in consciousness. The 95% of our life in subconscious. So this is why many times people would behave certain way, but they don't even realize it's wrong. This is why we see so many things in the society today that is very, very wrong, and people are accepting it as something great. So those who I will call maybe sane, they are 1%. And 99% of people are opposite. And because we have so many people in that category, then even those people are saying will be looking at themselves. Is that something wrong with me? Am I in a different world? You understand me? So we need now, so many things are wrong, and people are accepting it, and people are hailing it, and people are celebrating it. And you now look and say, what is wrong? But when you are awake, and you are now, open to new knowledge, you will now see that, oh, I think I have to pray for these people. And I think I have to look for a way of seeing how we can all now, rewrite that program and be able to discern what is good from what, is bad. So it's a wonderful thing for me, because I like a lot of people to know that they do not have to depend on external, things, but things that are internal. Things that are internal are things that are soulful, because we are souls. And when you look at the quality of soul, when you look at the characteristic of soul, it's love, it's peace, it's harmony, it's, cooperation. And when you are in harmony between your body, your soul, and your spirit, then things will be working the way it's supposed to be. But when you are in disharmony, and all you believe in is body consciousness, because we are what we call body consciousness, and that is the ego. And that is greed, that is anger, and that is disharmony, and that is competition, all the pride and everything, arrogance. Me, 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 me. But when it is something of the soul, it's going to be we. I know that for me to get on in life, I must help a lot of people to get on in life too. It's not going to be me, me, me. If it is me, 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 then I'm not that child of God who is loving. So we need to now realize that, look, there is more to what we are seeing. There's much more things inward that eyes cannot see, but the force, is there, which is goodness, which is, everything that is positive in life. And once you know that, you will not sit down and be thinking bad thing. You will not sit down and be, thinking evil of another person. Because if you do that, it's coming to you. Because your subconscious mind will help you to expand it. Whatever you say will come true. Some people will say, oh, they don't have money. Oh, they are suffering. Oh, the country is difficult. Things will be more difficult for them. Because that's what they are telling the subconscious mind to, and that's what he is going to get for them. It doesn't understand the word I don't. You will make it, you do. I can't. You understand me? So negative will just be something it will go and help you to look for. So what we must say is to understand that the positive thing. Oh, I'm happy. You understand me? So happiness will come around to you because you said it. It's gone into the universe. It has become, it has vibration. So people now should learn to love people, because the most important thing in life is that love. Love, with love, there's nothing you cannot achieve. If there's love in the world today, there wouldn't be war. There wouldn't be discrimination. There wouldn't be segregation. Everything will work smoothly. If I love you, you love me, and everybody is in love, what happens? The world will be a wonderful place. Will be, paradise, on earth.
Of course.
So the power is in the mind. But we need to understand we have two minds, the conscious and the subconscious. And 5% of the time we live in the conscious, which we can use to do good things. But even the 5%, instead of using the conscious to do good things, we are living unconsciously. We are not mindful of whatever we say. We are not mindful of whatever we do. We just be on autopilot.
So I think that's a good time to bring in one of the questions from the chat here,
Okay.
which kind of ties into what you just said there about, being in the conscience and not and not actually looking at the subconscious. So we've got a question here from Mike Times that says, "It's fantastic it's fantastic hearing from such an inspirational woman. What practical tips can you share to help and encourage the more positive voice and dreams in our hearts and minds to become louder?"
Okay. For example, I share my life. I went to England when I was young, and when I was coming back, I think there at that time, job was scarce, and people were saying, "Oh, why are you going home? You won't get a job." I said, "I will get a job." Do you understand me? And I came home, and I believe I will get a job, and I got that job. After the job, I look at myself because I could not get a job as a teacher because the salary was not enough. So I got a job as an executive secretary. The salary was much, much more. It gave me all the things I needed at that time. But again, I assess myself, and this is what also I would like to share with the listeners. Every period of few months, no, I'm not saying a year, you need to assess yourself. Have I moved from where I was 3 months ago? Have I added some value to myself? Because you see some people, they're on the same spot and have been on that spot for many years and they cannot see anything wrong with it. So I got this job, the money was good, everything was wonderful. But again, I had to think about the end. At the end of the day, will I still like to continue to be secretary? I said, no. What do I want to do? I'm an educator. I would like to start a school. I didn't have the money at that time, but I had the belief that that school will come into reality. If I sleep, I dream about the school. If somebody is talking to me, my mind is on that school. So whatever you focus on would surely come true. And whatever you keep on, desiring will come. So I was working in Texaco and I said, Lord, I will not work more than 5 years before I start my school. 3 months to 5 years, that school became reality because it was a desire. I believe in it and I was taking steps. So when I was getting my salary, I would not buy things carelessly. I don't go to parties. I use the money to pay for the franchise of my school, to buy all the things I would need for school, to pay for typewriter. It came into reality. My father was not having, my father was even dead at that time, so he couldn't have given me money. But do you know that is the power of your belief, the power of your mind, even when everybody was telling me it's not possible. Because I was starting speed writing college and everybody, they were used to to Pitmans. Oh, you are coming with speed writing. Oh, nobody knows about speed. I said, that's for you. For me, that is number one thing. The school started. After some years, I said, I'm not going to rent another property. I'm going to build a school, a wonderful school, a beautiful school, the most magnificent school. Not even in Nigeria, in the world. I didn't have the money. But what did I have? Believe and trust in the Almighty Father. So what happened? That school came into reality because God provided the job, the secretarial services I had to do that brought the money to build that school. So this is the power of the mind. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Even against all odds that people were telling me it was not possible, it was, even my, a closer person to me was saying that, look, how much do you have in the bank? 15,000. And you say you want to build a school of, so many thousands. Are you crazy? I said, no. and the school was built. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everything I've said in life has become reality. Everything I ever thought of, I've, achieved. Then one day I said, I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire into a beautiful place. I don't know where the place is, but it must be beautiful. And the apartment I will have that I will own will be in front of the beach, in front of the ocean. What happened, Elizabeth? God made it possible. So many people don't dream because they think they don't have the money now. They want to wait until they have money before they dream. Before they have money, they're already too late. They're already too old, to even enjoy what they dream, what they are dreaming about. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So if you believe in the Almighty Father, as you dream, as you say something, you desire it. It's not that you sit down and fold hands like we do in this part of the world, because all we know to do is praying, and not taking action. So once you desire something and you pray about it and you put it in your mind, the Almighty will show you the ways. He will show you how you are going to get there. He will bring all the helpers along your way that you will be looking at. How is this happening? How did this person, come to help me? So the helpers are there all the time. All you need to do is be still. Be still. There is power in stillness. There is power. And then I like to quote a wonderful author that I so much admire, and I read a lot of his book, but
Mm-hmm.
people don't really understand his books. But, I read it and I understand it because it's a wonderful author. It says Stillness Speaks. That is the title, Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. Tolle. The power of now, a new earth, and stillness speaks. It said the intelligence operates silently. The intelligence operates silently. Stillness is where creativity and solutions to problems are found. When
Mm.
you describe people here, I don't know other parts of the world, and I think it's more or less the same thing. We are noisy people.
Gragra.
Noise in the house, noise in the church, noise in the mosque, noise in the school. People come in from work, the first thing they do is to turn the television on loudest. People are playing, music in their car. What is happening is loudest. So nothing good comes to noisy environment, even when God is talking to you, because the voice of God is quiet. Not hear. So what will help us mostly is to have quiet time. My time starts at 4 a.m. in my house, and 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. is the time for my spiritual practice, meditation, praying, quiet, and waiting, for answer. We pray and pray and pray, but we don't wait for that answer because the noise is too much. So with that, you start to be quiet, and then you think that you have not seen before. You just see it. Things that probably you find you've been looking for and you cannot find it. Something will just show you because what? You are still, you are quiet, and you are not noisy. There's time for everything. There's time you can go out there and be noisy. You understand me? If you look at this part of the world, I'm not blaming anybody because it's what you like. Here we love a lot of parties, isn't it? We start on Thursday waykeeping, Friday burial, Saturday marriage, Sunday, maybe introduction wedding. So, and you see people going to 3 or 4 functions, within one day. So they come home tired. So even when God is talking to them, when they're showing them good things, would they be able to see it? So the
Difficult.
mind needs, a lot of good things to be put into it. By the time when you're about sleeping, it's when whatever you are saying, your subconscious will work on it. It's like hypnotic time. So when I'm going to bed, I keep on saying good things. All the things I want is what I keep on saying. And when I'm about waking up in the morning, you're still just trying to wake up, but I wake up with good things. I'll be saying good things. All the things I want my children to achieve in the world, this is what I'll be saying to them. I'll be vibrating all those good things to them. My nieces, everybody in my family, the people I live, even people on my street, I vibrate love. And I don't wake up in the morning and turn television on because what will you see on television? Bad news. So you
Mm.
are not starting your day well. And then before you sleep, also, what do they listen to? News. And what is in there? All the bad things. And some people will never stop, testing. WhatsApp, testing all the time. Anywhere they are, you understand me. So even we are what will I call it? We are IT toxic. Toxic of food. We have also toxic of electronics and all these internet and so on.
Oh, I think that sounds like a juicy conversation for another chat, which we might be getting you into, and I think it's very much linked. Just to welcome Ibukun Adewale, who has joined in the chat here from Nigeria, and she does have a question. So let me just summarize what we've said thus far. Just recently, now you were talking about the fact that we need to take time to be still, that we need to take time to meditate on the positive things in life that we would like to achieve.
That's it.
Every few months, we should make sure that we take stock of our lives and see whether it's where we want to be and in the trajectory that we want to go into. So taking time to reflect on our goals. Have we achieved them? Have we done those things to achieve them? And one thing I like that you said was that we shouldn't just believe in those things and sit down and fold our hands and just say, I believe, I believe, I believe. But we need to put things in place to work out our beliefs. So when you were wanting to start a secretarial school, the money that you had, you put it aside to invest in your training, to invest in the materials, to invest in the license for the training college, rather than just saying, "Oh, I am sure it will happen," and you didn't take those positive steps forward.
Or waiting for a man to help me.
Or waiting for somebody else to help you. Yeah, or waiting for somebody else to help you and somebody else to do it for you. You have to take that plunge and believe in yourself to be able to do it. So those are the things that we've sort of covered so far. Now, I know you mentioned about we're toxic in what we consume technologically, but you also touched on food-wise. And the question from Ibukun is, she would like to know how to transition from the standard American diet to eating healthy. So practical healthy tips would be very useful. Because as you know, the standard American diet, they've been pushing bread, a lot of the tables that they have. You've got your breads and your cereals. You've got your milk is up there. All these different things, your cheeses, and then you've got like the vegetables, the fruits. But the way that they did the proportions with the standard American diet was very, very heavy on those cereals and that type of food, the potatoes and things like that. Whereas I'm sure you'll be able to appreciate where Ibukun's coming from. How can we change from that mentality to one that's actually more beneficial for our bodies? If you could sort of go into that a bit.
Okay, I think I would like to share my own real life experience with Ibukun. I came to this country with size 8. My waist was about 22. Then, few years later, when I started eating all the things Ibukun was saying, American whatever, when I felt, I've arrived, now I'm at ease, I don't have to run around so much and have some money. Then I started eating carelessly and I became size 22 and I was 105 kilos. So what happened? I became sick, depressed, not interested in anything anymore. I was fed up with myself. And somebody was asking me from me. And I said, "Oh, well, what about your dad's sister, slim sister?" I said, it's me. He said, "No, it's not you." Then I realized something was wrong. So what I would like Ibukun to first of all do is to realize what is the stage of my health now. Weight-wise, cholesterol, we measure it, blood pressure. So she should know that if she's in Lagos, she can come to me, I can give her my address, she can come to me so that we can measure her biological age. I think at that time I was about 47, but my biological age, I would have been 80 because with the pains and aches and everything and the way I looked like a cow. So what did I do? Knowledge. I sought knowledge about the body, how the body works, what the body needs, what can make the body break down. I learned all those knowledge. And when I gained the knowledge, what will my body need? My body needs nutrients because all the garbage I'm putting into my body is making me sick, it's making me getting bigger, it's making me going crazy because I was depressed. So what did I do? I sat down, I assessed, what do I eat in the morning? I would take bread, I would take egg, I would take baked beans, I would take sausage, all those things that you feel that, oh, you have arrived. You are now, a rich person. Then I said, because a gentleman told me, said, Mrs. Oyemade, you don't need anybody to help you. All you should do is to learn how to eat to live because you are eating to die. So many people, they are digging their grave with their what? With their teeth. So I said, Then I got a book. He gave me a cassette, Fit for Life. And in the cassette, 2 books were recommended: Healthy Living and Fit for Life. And I read those 2 books because I'm a ferocious reader. And now told me that in the morning, between 6 a.m. and 12 noon, your body needs something that will help it to eliminate weight because that is the time you're eliminating weight. So what do I now learn to eat in the morning? Fruit. I take pawpaw. I like pawpaw. You can eat pawpaw you like, because your body will tell you what it needs. I cannot eat some fruit which will not agree with my body, but pawpaw agrees with my body. I will take my pawpaw in the morning. Then in the afternoon, because I started with my morning, it's not something you stop or you start like a sudden thing. No, life is not like that. It's step by step. I conquered my problem in the morning, my breakfast. Then I now move to my lunch because lunchtime I can eat about 6 meat pie, fish pie, and then I would drink a lot of limca. Around 3 p.m., I would take, what do they call it, shawarma or whatever, with all those horrible things. Then I would get home and eat a lot of big meal, and I used to eat in bed. Then I started looking at my life. If I don't want to die, what do? I have to make changes. So in the afternoon, I conquer the afternoon. So I only eat one type of food because we eat dodo, we eat rice, we eat beans, we eat spaghetti, we eat meat, about 7 items into this stomach. So I learned to eat just one meal. So if I'm going to eat in the afternoon, I make sure I reduce carbohydrate. If I'm going to eat rice, I put a lot of vegetable. I will not eat meat. I will not eat fish with it. If it is fish alone I want to eat, I put a lot of vegetable and I eat fish. So I conquer the afternoon. Then I now face the evening. So I eat at that time. I can eat at night. I can eat at 10. But my meal now stops at 5 p.m. And I'm still doing that up to today. So I lost a lot of weight. Then I now look at what food, because your body talks to you. And this is why also I did this, integrative nutrition, which is now I'm helping a lot of people with that. Don't eat this, don't eat that. It's not the issue. What does your body want? There are certain things that people will say is good, but if I put it in my body will react. So which means it's not good for me. Your body knows, it speaks to you all the time. Anything I eat, my stomach, bloat, it's not good for me. And I leave it. Something that people say, oh, it's not good for them, it's maybe good for me. So all I will ask Ibukun to do is to make sure in the morning, what she has to put in her stomach is what will help her body to eliminate waste. Because the body is not taking any food at that time, it's just sending away waste. So after 12, which is lunchtime, she should also eat one type of meal, not a beans, dodo, moi. No. If it's moi, let her eat her moi with vegetable, And then in the evening, eat light. And in your evening meal, some people will say, but I work, I don't get home late. I said, but you can change it intelligently. Why don't you eat lunch? And then when you get home, take something light. Oh, I don't know I can do that. You understand me? So a lot of carbohydrate will not help you. What I did was to devise my own food. For example, if I take beans, I will not feel comfortable. So I've replaced beans with what we call quinoa. Quinoa is protein. I make it into my, I make it into salad, I make it into jollof rice. And then also I eat green plantain. I cook it with carrot, make it, porridge. I can also boil the green plantain and eat it with vegetable or with stew. as it may be. I even make the green plantain into my mind. There's nothing I do not, experiment. So I
It sounds like we need to get you on the Let's Cook kitchen. In the Let's Cook kitchen.
definitely. So, and I eat a lot of salad made by myself. I don't put all those, what do we call it? Dressing? No. My salad, I can put coconut because coconut will make it to be tasty. I can also put red apple because I don't like green apple. Green apple doesn't agree with me. So whatever agrees with you is what you need to take. And again, in moderation. Moderation, we eat too much. Our stomach is just like a feast. Then you put a full bucket of food into it and it's expanding. Nowadays, you don't know who is pregnant. Men and women are pregnant because they've expanded their stomach so much. So you don't you see some, oh, when are you having babies? I'm not pregnant. I say, I'm sorry. So we need to put small thing because big thing is making the stomach to expand. And also, it's filled with gas. Then you must eat what will make you to eliminate waste. You need to drink a lot of water, because that is also very good for you. And then fruit, again, fruit that goes, that will agree with your body. I eat pawpaw, I eat melon, not water, the other melon, not the watermelon, because that is too sweet for me. I don't take pineapple because it's too acidic. I take a lot of ginger because ginger helps me, so that I don't have pain and then I don't bloat. And then I take, what do you call it? What again? I take allulite. I take, forever allulite and mix it in the morning with pawpaw, with anything, which is also very good for me. And I drink a lot of water. And I'm not a meat eater. If I ever would eat protein, flesh, it would be fish, dry fish, and small. I taught myself that, look, this is not good for me, and it will, give me a lot of problem because it doesn't digest good. I don't take milk at all. I don't drink cow milk. Sometimes I can have almond milk, but not often. Or coconut, I make coconut milk myself. So I'm not a milk person because it's so acidic. And
Those
another,
are
yeah,
lots of healthy tips. And you're going to say another thing?
yeah, another thing I would like to share with Ibukun is that also that is the plate food. We are what we call primary and secondary food. The primary food is actually what will give you happiness, that you are not going to overeat. We're talking about being in good relationships. We're talking about spirituality. We're talking about exercise. We're talking about being in the career you enjoy. Because when you do what you enjoy, you are not going to eat too much. You understand? Sorry, and you will limit the time because Nigeria is forever eating. Every time they eat and eat it, they're not eating guguru, they're eating a pipe. They're not eating a pipe, they're eating what do they buy on the street, which is, what do they call it? Gala. They eat gala. All the things that, it's not good for the body. And then we should avoid sugar. Sugar, too much sugar is not good. I will even say it's not, any of it is not good at all. So, and be happy, So when you are happy, you are not going to be going into the fridge and eating what you are not supposed to eat. Because sometimes when we are stressed, when we are not happy, we take food as a solution to all those things. So that will also help. I hope I've said it. And then she has to exercise anyway.
Thank you very much for expounding that. And I'm not sure whether it's Ibukun just asking generally or whether she's asking for herself. So, Ibukun, if it's for yourself, then if you could just get in touch with myself, get your details out, and we can pass your details through to Mrs. Oyemade. So, yes, I think it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of the things that you're talking about, our values, where we pick all those things up, even our diet, would you say is affected by our upbringing and our culture, maybe?
Mm. Sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear that.
We were talking earlier on about our values, from childhood, from in the
Mm,
mother's womb to the school
mm,
to those
mm,
values,
mm,
even
mm.
our diet. Do you think that could be affected by our upbringing and our
Oh yes,
society?
oh yes, oh yes. And also, maybe another thing I would like to talk about in the future on this program is authenticity, for freedom, peace, and happiness. We copycat. We want to be who others want us to be, because my friend is doing this, so I have to do it. Because the society is saying this is the right thing, then I have to. You understand me? So that is another thing we need to understand, that our upbringing and the societal values, we've also, taken that as ours. But if we are authentic and we are who we should be, not waiting for others' commendation or approval, we will be very happy. We'll be happy in our life. You need to really improve yourself to the stage where you need nothing from anybody, that you need nothing external in your life, and then you'll be happier. So you are not looking. So somebody is going to, she's going to London on holidays, or on summer. So I have to go, even if you don't have the means.
Mm.
So we are killing ourselves, and that is bringing a lot of stress. And with stress, we'll be eating and eating and eating wrong things.
So that sounds to me a lot like the Instagram generation, and of course there are people who just use appreciate it and just enjoy like encouraging one another, which is fine. But then there's some people who feel pressurized to meet up to certain um, quote unquote standards or certain appearances. But uh, but we maybe, as you say, we could talk about that on another occasion. So
Mm.
we've just got a message here from Ilukun Adewale who says, "Thank you so much, Ma." So very appreciative of that response. So if we go back again, because I really want to delve into this, the value set. So we're
Mm.
talking about the mindset, aren't we, and how to understand the mindset. I'm sure you're aware of what you described earlier on was very much in line with the Morris Massey theory or model, where he talks about our values when we're
Mm.
younger, we're like sponges, we're taking in,
Mm.
those values come from mainly from
Mm.
our parents and our siblings within the unit, our household. And then we go out to, maybe they go to school and then they get influenced by role models like their teachers,
Mm.
their peers, and then it spreads out to social media, to the to
Mm. Mm.
the media, and famous football players or whoever it is that inspires them, and
Mm.
that then just keeps on carrying on. So you
Yes.
mentioned about running or playing the program. So
Yes.
we're playing the program of somebody else. Can you
That's
expand a bit more about this program you're talking about?
like I told you, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is a wonderful mind because it's the one running the system, biological system of our body. When we go to toilet, we don't, know how we digested the food. We don't know how our immune system is working, but the subconscious mind is the one that is there. It's habitual, it's automatic. You understand me? So it's good for that. But also is the one recording everything. Everything we ever did, everything we ever seen, the subconscious mind had recorded it. And and it's playing it in order probably to keep us safe. That, oh, this is what you've learned. Oh, this is where you have to, you have to be. This, maybe you when you were young, maybe your parents were fighting, your father is always beating your mom. So if you are a boy, what happened? That boy had recorded all those things. So when he's married, before the wife says something, what happened? It's automatic because the subconscious might say, this guy, give what, So this is what is because what we've seen people or our parents pass on to us, or what you say to your children as mothers, and I hope many people who are parents are listening to me today. What you say to your children will affect them in the future, and this is why if you have argument with your husband, don't let it be in front of your children. If you want to talk about your friends, don't talk about your friend badly in the presence of your children. Because what you are doing, you are already giving them the program they are going to play in the future. So I remember my mother taught us when they say somebody is doing juju. My mommy would say, no, but no. Say no juju can catch you except if you yourself you are juju. So we never believe that. We never believe that somebody is is after you. We never we never tell, oh, don't eat there, they will poison you. No. So my mother showed love, that everything is love, love, love. And that is really what is helping me today. And she loved, she loved everybody. And the people living with us who are our house help, my mother made us to respect them, to accept them as our own sisters and brothers. We never call them names. So that you will see my consideration for people who are staying with me today is something I copied from my mother. You will see me not going out and visiting this and that or going to party. Where did I get it from? From my mother, because I never saw her, doing those things. And I never heard her spoke badly about anybody in her life. So all those things became part of me. And you can see the way I take everybody. I don't discriminate. My mother never discriminated, And my mother also was too generous. And my father was also generous to a fault. You can't come to my house without having to eat something or drink something. Where did I get it from? From my mother. And then my father liked clean environment. Even a piece of paper on the floor, you have to pick it. So if you come to my house, you see it's sparkling. If you bang door in my father's house, you end up being beaten with koboko. So banging door to me, you see me jumping. So, and this is what we need to tell parents, that when you are bringing your children up, make sure good thing, positive thing is, even if you are annoyed and somebody had annoyed you, don't come home and be saying bad thing in front of the children. So these are the programs we're playing. What is happening in the society today? You want to quickly become a politician so that you can make big money. So all our young ones, what are they now looking for today? Money, 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 money. Money doesn't give happiness. It's not what is happy, it's what you yourself, have passion in doing. You see people doing the wrong, courses because of money. Because the parents will say, if you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a doctor. Maybe he wants to be a singer. Where is going to be happy? Are you with me? So, and this is why now we need to let people know that, you have to do what makes you happy. Be in the career that you have passion for. Look at what you're doing, Elizabeth. Look at where you end up. But are you not happy doing it now?
Definitely, I am.
Elizabeth, if you have been forced now that you have to be a doctor without being happy.
But on that point, don't you think though the generation, maybe your generation, still had those expectations on young people? So, for example, for myself, I knew that I had to go to university, and I knew that I had to do in quote unquote, proper subject. So ideally, I would have wanted to do drama and performing arts. But I felt that I couldn't do that, and I then had to apply I did marketing in the end. But I wasn't passionate about it. I wasn't in love with it. It was just something that I just knew I had to pick something that was at least I could bear with. And I didn't want to do I didn't want to do straight business because I thought it was boring. Let me do marketing. It seems a bit more interesting, and I could be a bit more creative in that line of work. And it's only through, as you say, reflecting on your life over the years that I decided to, and also the burning desire within me that was put inside me to know that I have to create this. I just have to create this, and I know despite all the odds, I am able to create this with that self belief. So we could talk about that topic because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there right now. Maybe they're in secondary school in Nigeria, specifically in Africa, and their parents, it might be they themselves might feel that pressure to do something that is a standard topic. So how do you encourage parents out there to be able to allow their children to know that they can pursue their passion, they can pursue what they're good at, not what is expected of them to make money?
It is my prayer that when we invite parents to come for workshops or seminars, that they will come. The majority of them don't come, because I have a wonderful lady, sorry, a Nigerian who lives in US now, Dr. Dora Ubichizia, because we put something together to do a big workshop for parents. We're calling it analog parents, analog parents parenting digital children. So we want to put that into place this summer. We want to even make it free. But our prayer is that parents will come, to let them know whatever they do now will affect the future of the children. That children, we are caretakers, we don't own them. That they come to this world with a lot of talents, with a lot of good things that God had created them to do. But we should not, force them, because we want them to be this, we want them to be who we are. But they cannot be, because they are individual, they are souls, and they have a mission. So it's at the moment now, I'm sure some parents are accepting, because also they are seeing that the children are becoming, frustrated because they are not doing well in what they ask them to do. So a lot of them are giving in that, okay, do whatever you like. I think I listened to a lady, somebody sent me on WhatsApp, and it's a lady is a comedian, and she said, "Oh, in Nigeria, your parents will either want you to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. I think there's another or something else." But she said, although she went to the university, and she now told her mother she was to be a comedian. Sorry, and the mother said, "A comedian?" But today, I mean, the mother was even in part of the audience, because the lady is so happy and she's doing what she loves doing. So I think parents are being forced, especially when the children now go away from the parents, are being forced to accept. And then another advice I used to give in the past was that, look, how old are you now? You are young. Who's paying your fees? My mom. Who is looking after you? My mom and my dad. I said, okay, if that be the case, why don't you, first of all, go and do what mommy wants you to do? So when you get to the age of decision, then you can now add whatever you want to do. I mean, because you can have first degree and your second degree in, you understand me? Although I know it's a waste of time, but I won't give that advice today. I will call the parents and then, let them think about the life of that child. Because as parents, we are not going to be there forever, are we? And when we go, what happens? So we pray that when we put notice out to parents, they will come for this beautiful workshop to be able to understand the children of today.
So thank you very much for that. And I think it's very important to point out that, of course, parents want the best for their children, regardless of the generation. And I think where it came, where that attitude came from was the fact that parents wanted their children to be secure in the future. What are you going to do if you're an artist painting? Who's going to hire you to paint? So I think it's coming from that, the fears of the parents that the child might not be able to thrive in society with their passion, and they won't be able to make something of their passion to be able to sustain them in life. So you can understand where the parents would have been coming from. But I think in this day and age now, it's a case of encouraging people to search out
I
their
created
gifting.
for primary assignment and then secondary assignment.
Mm.
The first primary assignment is that we're all created to make this world a better place, to make it, paradise on earth. Number one. Then number two, for us to be able, because each and every one of us were equipped with talents. Your talent is not my talent. You understand me? The talent of B is not the talent of A. And that's your talent that the Almighty Father had given to you. It's what will make you thrive in life, to be able, to do a lot of things that you do to help a lot of people. So once they know that, they will trust in God that this child is not because he wanted to do this, but it's what makes him or her happy. Because everything that our parents are thinking about, oh, you must have enough money, but that money does not really create that happiness for you. But, I mean, I'm a teacher. When I was young, people were making jest of me that teachers don't make it in life, that their reward is in paradise. I didn't listen. But I mean, am I not happy now? Am I not whatever I want in life? God had, provided it for me, and it's through teaching, and I'm still doing teaching. I can be on my feet for 10 hours training. I won't get tired. I won't feel hungry. It makes me happy. You do understand what I'm saying? I mean, people were going for law, people were going for this. I went for teaching, and I was in class with people who are much, much older than me. I wasn't, ashamed. So if we think about that as parents, that look, let's listen to God. Let's, this child has got talent in this area. Let him use the talent. And once he's happy, we should not base happiness on money or extra or material things. Do you understand me? So the material thing, and then the ego. Oh, my child is a medical doctor.
So yes, I think that as well could be one of the pressures for. I know it's all over the world, to be honest. In the Asian culture, African culture, British culture, it's the same thing of, as you've just mentioned, their parents wanting to be able to say, my child is, my child has arrived, my child had, and sometimes we forget, because you could, it's great if your child is actually doing what they want as a medical doctor, for example. But then if they're a medical doctor by force, and they're depressed, they're suicidal, then that really isn't something to be, to be proud of, just the title of whatever the title is. Because again, that goes back to the mindset. It's we as human beings that have put that mindset as a doctor is better than an artist, or a singer or is better than a lawyer or an accountant. We're the ones that have put those frameworks, those boundaries, that lens. We're the ones that have actually put that in place.
Yeah.
So there's a question that I there's a riddle, or I would say, sort of like a question that I like to use and ask people, which is, if happiness was the currency, what would make you rich? So if you could answer that question, if happiness was the currency, what would make you very rich?
It's, what will make what will bring that happiness is a question we first of all need to answer. What will bring that happiness? Because to me, happiness to me means me being free, not under the clutch of anybody in life. Being able to live the life I want. Being able to do all the things I want. do you understand me?
Yeah.
So if I'm able to do that, then what will be the currency? Because if we are talking, if you ask what will be, so it's what will make me happy. Things I'm doing now, training, teaching. I mean, if you see me in my house, I'm training. If you see me, it gives me that happiness. Even if they give me £2 billion and they say I should be sleeping and traveling, I won't be happy. Do you understand me? So that's what will make me happy, is that currency that that will be for me. Reading is another thing that makes me happy. I can read a book in a day. So that reading and making something out of what I read and sharing it with people, because if I read a book, I'm going to design a course with that I'm going to teach other people with. So I can be in my room for 365 days reading, training, and teaching. So that is more important to me than billions of dollars. So what we need to do now is what will give you that happiness? It's not the money, it's not the house, but it's what you are passionate about. It's what you do that you not even feel like eating. It's what you'll be doing that you are so happy, that you are radiating joy, that you are looking young and you are not aging, So happiness it's is different from people. Some people, their happiness is money.
Mm. So
It's
I'd like you to hold that thought. I'll just bring in something that Ibukun Adewale has said. She says that she hopes that the workshop would be streamed online for those not in Nigeria. So the workshop you're talking about for the parents,
yes.
is there any possibility of it being streamed online?
I think we could do that because that would be wonderful. Or if it can be recorded and I mean the link sent to people. I'm to give a feedback to Dr. Dora Chizia because she's so passionate about it. Because the way things are going in Nigeria with our children is not the way it should be going. We have a lot. We should not we should not fold our hand and look away. We need to come to the rescue of our young people in Nigeria. Many people are taking a journey of no return. Boat capsizing, dying there, being sold as slave in Libya, and going to Saudi Arabia and becoming. You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
everywhere in the world you see Nigerians, you feel so sad that these are young ones. These are the future. These are the people who will bring future to Nigeria. But is there going to be future when our youths are not, I mean, I mean, when they are in a terrible, situation all over the world. You understand me? So we should not look away, and we pray that when we call parents, they will come in and come for this workshop. Like I've said, we are going to make it free. We are not charging. It's going to be our own contribution. And parents should know that they don't own their children, that they are caretaker. God owns them. They're children of God. They are heir of God. And they should not, because holding on to it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. It's why they are not letting the children, blossom. So we are all caretaker of our children. We do not own them, and we should let them do what God had created them to come and do, to make the world better, to make Nigeria better, to make the world better in general.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And Ibukun Adewale, thank you for the suggestion as well. I can see that we're buffering a bit. So I'd just like to see, Mrs. Oyemade, are you still there?
I'm there, I'm there.
Okay, I can see okay, we're back now. I can see there was a bit of buffering. So sorry if you, out there, if you lost connection. So now we're talking about achieving your goals and about your mindset to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, and understanding that you have the power within you to alter your mindset and your frame of mind. Now, you touched on something earlier on, which I'd like to dig further into. You talked about, people being able to go out there and do it and do what they want to do, but coming from the perspective of a working mother, and somebody who is within a family unit,
Mhm.
how would you encourage working mothers? Maybe they've got young children. The couple have mouths to feed. They have to put a roof over their head. How then does somebody transition from doing what they need to do to put a roof over their head, maybe it's just a job, to pursuing their passions and what they're gifted in, which might not necessarily bring in initially that those finances that they would need to sustain their family life. How would you encourage somebody in that situation?
To me, from my own experience, because when I came back, I had two children. You see, we need to get our priority right in life. As an individual, I believe that if I'm going to have children, I have to space them. It depends on each individual. You understand? I'm not saying it is compulsory. I
Mm.
have to, space them, so that by spacing them, I will, it will not give me financial, problem. Because if I'm looking after one now, and there is a space of 3 to 4 years before I have another one, so I will stabilize before I start to now say, oh, I need money for this, I need money for that. Our priority, is always wrong everywhere, not only in Nigeria, all over the world. I mean, immediately we want to rush and do things. I mean, you look at your own example, Elizabeth. You got married after how many years before you had your first child?
9 years.
9 years, But in this part of the world, your parents will be saying, you must have baby. Oh, go, you married last year. Everybody is asking me for my grandchildren. So, but you had a reason of doing that, didn't you?
Yes, we did, definitely.
Because you wanted to have a roof with your husband and yourself to say, this is where we want to stay. You want to work, he will work, and then you can get mortgage. So we need to prioritize. That is number one, because, sometimes people don't think about that. I'm married. What would they say? Because it's 2 years now. I've not had children. So now I have to continue to have. And then you have one, you have two, and then your parent will say, are you going to have two alone? Then you want to listen to your parent, then have four. So what are you, in our own time when we were in England, how much were we paying to put our children in nanny's place? £2 a month. How much are they paying now? 2,000?
Yes, exactly.
How much are we renting a flat at that time? Small money. But how much are they renting a flat now? Almost 3,000, 2,000. We need to get our priority right as young couple. Married, we need to work together, save so much, much money to do this, to do that. So that is number one thing. And then also, we need to control how many children we are having. I'm sorry, because it is better to have the number of children you can give quality life and quality education, And then also at home, you need to organize yourself. Because when I had two children, two kids, I think there's 5 years gap in between. And then I brought my children up. You were here to learn how to cook, to learn how to clean, to learn how to do things in the house. Because parents nowadays, they do all the things for their children. So it's not right. Because, I think I had a young lady in Dubai, and she was going through a lot of issues. And when she came, I said, well, how many children do you? Apparently, she was doing everything for those children. And I sat her down. And I said, look, even my children at the age of 5 years, they were doing nanny for other people, cooking for them. And they were boys. So I told her, do this, do that. And she now came back and said, my children are happy doing all those things. So she had less stress. So let us make sure that we train our children to do something in the house. They get up in the morning, it's nanny who will do this for them, nanny will make bed for them, nanny will watch their school fees. Not in my house. You are the you can testify to that. You have to do your bed, you have to clean your shoes, you have to wash your things. So this is where parents are having a lot of issue. If we prioritize our life and we know that when to have, children, if we get married, don't let anybody rush you into having children quick. Because those who are rushing with will not live with you. They will not do financial assistance. You have to, that's it. So you do that. And then also let us begin our life, step by step. Because I think maybe I'm sure the first car we bought at that time, I think it was £25.
Wow. And how much would that be in today's currency? £25.
Maybe small money now. But I won't see that because somebody is in UK or it's in Nigeria, then I want to put my children to a school where they are paying millions, and I don't have that millions. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is another thing that is bringing stress on parents. Oh, other children are going for summer. My children must go for summer. So we need to not look at others to run our own life. Please, it's extremely important. It's extremely important. And then I don't believe in all those things that bang in the house for children, Coke, Fanta, sugar, this and that, because others are eating it. No. What I cook for my children here is what he has to eat. If he cannot eat it, then you can get out of my house. So we need to bring our children up with understanding that, look, you don't have to be like A or Z. You need to be you.
Yeah.
Are you with me? So
Yeah.
priority we need, and then we need to. Okay, another thing probably I will mention, when my husband was working as the chairman of his company, he had the opportunity to live in Ikoyi. You understand me? Although he had a house somewhere else, so but that house is far away from where he was working. So they gave him, accommodation, a whole house in Ikoyi. Then the rent became exorbitant, and they were asking for 3 years in advance. And my husband said, if I have to pay 3 years here for accommodation, though the company will pay, at the end of 3 years, I have to get out of here. He
Mm.
said, okay, why can't I go to my company? The money they will pay for 3 years, let them give to me in advance. And within 1 year, I can start building my house. And once I complete my house, I mean, you understand? And that's what we did. We came
Mm.
to Kenya. We didn't say we want to go to Lekki or we want to go to so and so. I mean, we put this beautiful building with the money from the company. By the time my husband was retiring, the money has been liquidated. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
so why is it now that I will say, because I want people to say that I live in Ikoyi? I mean, the company will have paid until they retired, but do you know how much money that company would have put in a dustbin? Like, let me put it that way. To landlord, we wouldn't have owned this beautiful, house. The same thing in the UK. I'm just saying this, for people to understand that you see some people who are modest and you think, oh, they have money. That's why they build that house. But it's common sense. My husband, because he was the chairman of his company, they had the opportunity to spend £5,000. They gave them, American credit card. Later on, they increased it to £10 a year. They don't have to give account. You know what, my husband, it's an Ijebu man, sensible Ijebu man. He went to them. He said, thank you very much for this. But please, this card, I'm returning it to you. Can it be given to me in cash? Because I bought a house on mortgage in the UK and I want to use it to liquidate. Because my husband worked out how many years it would take him to pay for that mortgage, about 25 or whatever years. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, he had paid twice or three times of that amount. The company
Wow.
agreed. You ask, when you ask, you be given. The company agreed and he took the bulk money, pay for that mortgage. That's the house we have in late, Elizabeth, you know it.
Yeah.
Anybody who sees, oh, dear Oyemade, they have a house in London. Oh, dear Oyemade, they have a big house in Kenya. But we didn't build it with our, money. It's the money that the company supposed to pay for rent or supposed to
Mm.
pay for enjoyment. So if you are not, being egoistic to say that, oh, I live in Ikoyi, and so many people living in Ikoyi in Banana Island pay millions, and it doesn't belong to them. And if the company say they should go today, they will end up staying in Ukuoba. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
everything
Mm.
in life is being wise. God has given us that wisdom. Don't show up to anybody. Be yourself and be sensible to have peace, to have freedom, and to be happy in life. Many people are not happy. Many people are living a forced life. And when you live a forced life, it's stressful and it brings blood pressure and all sorts of sickness. Me, I can wear, Ankara to any party, whatever you like to say. It's your own headache.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So if we do that, you will see that we'll be able to live a happy life with our children.
Very wise words. Very, very wise words.
Another
And
one I'd like to end finally
yeah.
is, as women, as parents, both men and women, please don't say, because, oh, I've got girls, I've got one girl, I've got two girls, I'm looking for boys. And in an attempt looking for boys, you now end up with 7 or 8.
Mm.
Girls are wonderful children. Girls today are president. Girls today are lawyers. They are the one running World Bank. They are the one running, high institutions. We have girls pilot. You understand?
Mm.
So we have girls senators. We have girls governors. So why are we discriminating about sex?
Mm.
That's another thing that is putting stress on couples. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Yes. Not only stress of probably money, but even stress, emotional stress. Because the parents of the husband will come, he hasn't given us boys, so what is the difference between I don't know. So do you see where problems are now? If we
Definitely.
face reality and we understand this, then there wouldn't be any, all of them, whatever, you know. And like I said, prioritizing. For example, whatever we are going to do in the morning, we will have prepared it in the evening. My children will have brought their clothes out, their shoes out, their school uniform, the bottle of water will have put it ready. So they don't go late to school. If somebody is waking up in the morning, come and take your bath, it's not going to work well. You need to train children to be disciplined. I never drop my children late in school. No, they are always in school 30 minutes before the time. So, but parents today, they drop their children late. So the children are already learning bad habits. And that's what they will grow up, to be operating that program. So a lot depends on our parents. We are parents, we are the future. And if we are the future of our children, who are we? So I hope that answers all the.
It definitely does, a wealth of knowledge. And I think we've just really scratched the surface of this topic. I mean, an hour is an hour and a half is not even enough time. But let me just get onto one other point, because when we're talking about families being able to achieve their goals when they've got, maybe young children, the roof over their house, you talked about different scenarios there, and I think those scenarios kind of covered people that were kind of a little bit more middle class. They might have a nanny already and things like that. What about people that are really just doing this on their own? It could be, a single mother with 3 kids. They're already in that life situation. They've gone past the point of saying, let me plan how many kids, or let me. Life has just taken them to that place where they have those responsibilities. They need to um, put a roof over their family's head. Again, as you say, the school fees in Nigeria, that's another issue for people deciding, do I send my child to a school where I think they won't be really nurtured? Or do I find the money from somewhere to send them somewhere else where I think they might have a better chance in life? So that person who is, struggling, maybe the single mom, maybe a couple who they're working jobs that they're really not paid well, uh, for the work that they're doing. So the work is valuable, but they're just not being paid well. How do you encourage those people to come through that circumstance to get to the place of being fulfilled and being on top of life rather than life on top of them?
Okay, Elizabeth, also, because like I've said, reading book or getting lecture is not the thing, it's from experience. I came back to this country as a single parent, isn't it? Because I remarried, isn't it? I had 2 boys, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And later on, my husband left. How was I able to bring 2 children up, 2 boys up as a single parent? And like I've told you, discipline is very, very important. The future of the children are very important. It was very important to me at that time because they were young. One is now 54, the other one is, going to be 48. So nowadays, I don't know. But at that time, I look at myself as a single parent. How do I cope with this? I was earning salary, but the salary was not enough to cover up. So what did I do? I was doing 3 jobs, Elizabeth. I've always been doing 2, 3 jobs in my life because one job is not enough for me. I was working with Texaco from 7 in the morning till 4:30 in the evening. I will go to YWCA and teach from 5 till 7. Are you with me? And from there, I will leave to late Justice Lambo's house to work as PA in the evening. I don't finish until about 10:30. Because going home from Igboshere to Surulere is a lot of hold up. You don't get home until about 12, 11, 1 sometimes. So instead of struggling on the road, instead of going to Yoruba tennis club or going to Island club or going to whatever, to go and sit down and be gisting with men and drinking beer or whatever, I was using my time to do those valuable what? Job to make extra money. It's not stopping there. My Saturday and Sunday, I supply stationaries and I get secretaries for companies. I work with called Susan Secretarial Services. That's it. Even where the money I started the school also came. That's part of it. So we're doing extra thing. Not just, people will go to one job and come back home and say they are tired. Then I look at them, I say, what is wrong with these people? I did 3 jobs. I was never tired because, what is giving me that energy is the good future for my children and good future for myself. So and then also, I don't do buy and selling, but the skill, my skill. And I was typing pieces for people. I was, doing secretarial services, looking for secretary. That is how I started. So, these people you're talking about, they have to sit down and look, what other skill can I add to my job so that I can make extra money? And if I cannot make that extra money, let me limit the number of children I'm going to have. Then let me start, okay, I came back to this country. I didn't live in a beautiful flat, in a beautiful area. I was living at Iwaya. I had to wear boots to come out of my house because the water, would get up to my knee. I didn't start living in Ikoyi or Ikeja. You understand me?
Yeah.
My car was Tokumbo. I didn't buy a new car until later on. So if we quote according to us, and I don't go to parties or spending money on earring or designer shoes, because I know there's time for everything, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now I can wear whatever I want to wear. You understand me? Although I'm not that type of showing up, I wear what is comfortable for me. So let them now sit down, husband and wife, and see what they can do as part of addition thing, if it is weekend or whatever, to make extra income, to be able to look after the children the way, So men, I wasn't looking for men or any man to come and look for, to come and help me with my children. I sent them to school.
Mm-hmm.
The seminar.
So who looked after the children when you were doing the secretarial work for the late?
Okay. When I came, my children, 2 of them were with my sister for a short period, because sometimes you need to go down for you to move up in the future.
Mm.
So my children were with my sister, and then they were put in a school, which is boarding house in Akure. So the big one was about 5, and the other one was about 18 months. And I prayed to the Almighty Father. I didn't really want to leave my children in this situation, but there's nothing I can do. I have to stabilize.
Mm.
So before I now brought them, by the time I brought them back, the bigger one was about 7. Then the smaller one at, I think, about 8 or 9, and the smaller one was also going to, primary school. So what I did, I didn't even have nanny to tell you, because I could not even afford. I didn't even, because I don't like to have a dirty house or something. So I didn't even have nanny. So what I would do, wake up early, take my children to school. If they get to school early, because they don't get late, I mustn't be late for work. And then in the evening, I arrange lessons for them so that they can go to lesson. And then I get some people to bring them home for me. Sometimes you have to go through that difficulties, and then by calling your children and sitting them down, and I spoke with them. I said, look, mommy is the only breadwinner, and I had to do this, I had to do that. I said, please, I'm appealing to you. You cannot afford to be sick. Exactly. Sometimes when I see my children today, I just laugh and I thank the Almighty Father. I mean, if you see Anthony today, Anthony cooks. I've just come back from England. He was the one making food, making everything for me. His food
And
is
he cooks healthy food as well.
food
He
as well.
cooks raw, natural food.
That's the training he has received. When he was young, because they were actually looking after my other friends' children. So if you now, like I've said, the age gap, and then not having many of them at that time. If I had 4, it would have been a different story. Are you with me?
Mhm.
So, and then later on, the bigger one went to secondary school, which was also boarding house, and then from there, and by the time we now had we had a nanny. They don't even need that nanny. What the nanny has to do is just to make sure go and buy things in the market and help with a little bit of cooking. Are you with me? So if you look at your life, and this is where you find yourself, the solution will also come. And then also you have relations who can be of help. Like I said, my sister, my mom were of help to me initially. But if one is not able to have that, then God will always bring a helper in a way, because I could not even afford to pay anybody to stay with me at that time. And my house is the cleanest house in the world. And what we do, whatever we are going to eat, we will cook it in the night. We put it in the fridge. In the morning, we warm it. So everything is in order. We don't go late to school. So if you look at my own life, I think these people can also now know that, look, there's always way out of any situation. Only we need to go to God, and God show us how we can, get by.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the discussion. We've had a lovely time here. It's wow, I can't believe it. We started at 8 o'clock. It's almost 10.
Oh dear.
So it
Overshoot.
seems like there's a wealth of knowledge to delve into. And we had a message here from Ibukun Adewale who said multiple streams of income is a must.
Yes.
And then she also says that she's finding this extremely useful. That what is the schedule for the discussions with Mrs. Oyemade? She doesn't want to miss any. So we might have to start doing a regular stream of discussions talking about different topics and
I will be
experience.
happy to share. I will be happy to share with them. Happy to be glad, because this is the only thing we can do to help the young ones coming. What can they gain from my experience? Because everybody has a story, like you said, and from each other we can learn, we can gain, and we can grow. So that we will not make the same mistakes. Maybe that some people have made, because nobody is perfect. There are so many. If you open the book of history of people, when you see what they've gone through in life, and then they get to a stage in life where people now admire them, I want to be like Azar. If I open my book, my storybook, you may not want to be like me. Be who you want to be, which is really interesting.
Yes.
You
Well,
know.
thank you so much. And just to summarize that, the last chapter of what you were saying there, you were talking about trying to find a way through whatever situation that you are in, but using your time wisely. Some people might choose to use an extra 3 hours, 4 hours watching movies, which is
Mm.
fine if they can afford to do that and relax. But then another person might use that time maybe on the internet, learning, doing an online course, going to night classes, learning about investments. So it's about using the little that you have to invest in your future,
Yes,
not
yes.
sitting down and waiting for things to happen to you, but just taking that opportunity to learn from people around you, because nothing is new under the earth. I think we need to be honest about that. And it's about learning from those who have been through the situation. As you said, Mrs. Oyemari said that we don't make the same mistakes, but we learn from others' mistakes and we can then improve ourselves. Again, another point you pointed out was not comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
That is a downfall. Comparing yourself to other people for the sake of wanting to be like them There's nothing wrong with admiring people, but again, you need to be yourself, your authentic self.
Yeah,
Look within yourself.
but even you don't know what all those others are going through because they're only put in
Exactly.
first life. You're only seeing the external life, you're not seeing the internal life.
Yeah.
You understand? Because those people may just be going through hell at home and then making a bold face outside, you know? So another thing I would like to add, Elizabeth, is that please don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. I'm 70, I'm going to be 75 in October. I've just finished a course, in Psych-K, and I'm still having about 3 other steps to go in the same course, which I'm looking forward to. In November, I'm doing the, higher level. So if at this age I'm still learning because we need to be current, there are so many people already obsolete. So if you are not adding value to yourself and you are valueless, when the opportunities come, you won't be able to feel it. So people should, they should read. Every day I read, every day I learn. I learn from people, I learn from nature. We should not just close our eyes and say, "Oh, I've got, I've got my, BSc about 10 years ago." The day you left the university, that is the day your certificate became obsolete. So
That's very true.
people should please, because that's another thing I see that. And then once they are married, they've given up. Everything is, they are not organized. The house is not the way it should be. Husband will come home, food will not be ready. I mean, we will talk another time.
Well, thank you so much. We've had such a lovely time. And remember, if you came late to the discussion, you can always listen to it again once it has refreshed and uploaded itself onto YouTube. You'll be able to find it there at A Producer's Life in Uganda, which is the YouTube channel that I run. I'm Elizabeth Ingero, the producer of Let's Cook reality TV show, which is currently on Record TV in Uganda, but available on Record TV Uganda's Facebook page live. Episode 1 you can find there and watch it now before episode 2 comes this Saturday at 7 p.m. Thank you very much for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, A Producer's Life in Uganda. Don't forget to share the stream as well so that other people can listen to it if you think they will benefit from what we've discussed earlier on. We talked about lots of different things. We talked about understanding the mindset, about not letting people define who you are, but by excuse me, but by living a life based on what your values are and retraining yourself to have a positive mindset, continually reinforcing those positive mindsets within you by thinking about the dreams you want, thinking about the things you want to achieve, thinking about the positive ways that you can move forward, but not just thinking about them, actually taking the steps to put them into practice little by little, whether it's saving some money, putting some money aside, whether it's going on a course, whether it's educating yourself, whether it's partnering with other people to help you achieve those goals, and not relying on other people to help you achieve the goals, but just looking for those opportunities in ways that you can find them. We've spoken about diet. We've spoken about having a healthy diet to have a healthy life, living, eating to live well, not just eating to, I think the word you
Yeah.
used, Mr. Oyemade, was eating to die. So we need to be able to be conscious of not just our physical bodies, but our spiritual bodies as well, our spiritual souls, and also not just the conscious mind, but also the unconscious mind, and making sure that whatever we take in, realizing that it will have an impact on us as individuals. So what we're watching, what we're feeding ourselves, and what we say, because what we say, we listen to ourselves. What others say to us, how we receive that. Do you accept something that someone has said to you that's unfoundedly negative? Or do you turn it around and reiterate what you know to be true, which is positive? So we covered that. We covered life, working, with young children and how to push through those stages and how to thrive in that stage there. And we also talked about appreciating the girl child, appreciating children for who they are, not because of their sex, and trying to dispel some of those myths about, wanting to have a boy or wanting to have, having a girl and striving for a boy, when actually what you can do is invest in that child that you have, because that child is a human being and can achieve whatever it is that they are meant to achieve in this world. So we've covered quite a few things on this topic and in this show today. And hopefully we'll be able to get Mrs. Oyemade in to talk about lots of different topics that we can have for the future of the generations, not just the young people, older people, younger people, and those in between. So hopefully you'll join us next time. I'll let you know through this Producer's Life in Uganda. If you subscribe to it, you'll get any notifications on when we're able to come together again. But thank you so much, Auntie, for your time. And thank you so much for your
Thank you
love of
for
humanity.
inviting me, for giving me the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And please, again,
Thank you.
subscribe to
Good
A
night.
Producer's Life in Uganda and replay if you've missed it, because there was a lot that we spoke about, a lot that will help you in your life. Thank you to all those who joined. Thank you to Ibukun Adewale for those questions. Thank you to Mike Times as well for the question. And next time, hopefully, when you join us, you'll be able to ask your question to Mr. Oyemade. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.